All right, so we are moving into another video. Hopefully, we're getting better with finding the answers. So we're going to look at another example here. And so we're still trying to find the simple interest. Remember, when we talk about finding simple interest, we are talking about the formula I equals P times R times T. Remember, that means that the interest is equal to the principal times the rate times the time. Okay, so we're just multiplying those three pieces of the equation together. All right. So we have Magdalena, and she opens a savings account for only 6 months. She puts $580 into that account and she earns 3.5% each year. How much interest will she earn? Well, I think it's first important for us to talk about something that she's doing. So she's only leaving it in there for 6 months. So remember, when we talk about a time, we're talking about how long they leave it in there. And the rate is basically going to tell you how much they are going to pay you based on that cycle. In this case, they're going to pay you 3.5% each year. But she's not leaving it in there for the entire year. She's only leaving it in there for 6 months. So we're going to have to do something to calculate and figure out how much she's going to receive. All right. So let's see what we have. We have the $580 is her principal. So we're going to put that here, 580. And then here we have, why is my marker not? All right. And then here we have our interest, or we don't know that. So we're going to call that I. And then our rate is going to be 3.5%. And remember, we're going to need to convert this into its decimal equivalent. So remember, move the decimal 2 places to the left. So that becomes 0 point, let me see, 1, 2. So there's 1 0 and a 3 and then the 5, right? So if it was here, 1, 2, then there we go. All right. And then our time is going to be, how long is she keeping it in there? She's keeping it in there not 1 year. She's keeping it in there for 6 months. So let's think about that. If there are 12 months in a year and she's keeping it in there for 6 months, then that would mean that she's keeping it in there for 0.5 months, okay, or years that she's keeping it in the account. So half of the year she's keeping it in there. So this is what we're going to use as far as our time. All right, so let's see. We have our I is going to be equal to our principal, which is 580, times our rate, which is 0.035, times our time, which is 0.5. Okay. All right. So let's see. We've got 580. We've got her rate as 3.5%. And then we have her time as 0.5. Okay. So now let's multiply those three figures together and see what we get. 580 times 3.5% times 0.5. All right. So that means that she is going to earn, her interest is going to be $10.15 because she's only leaving it in there for half of the year.